This is the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello, friends. John Solberg here, your host for the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. Recently, my good friend and fellow embedded correspondent, Doug Scheiding, sent me over a list of shows that he would like these parts pulled from. And he gave me an idea of where the show is. So I'm picking through that list, finding some stuff. This one, we're going to start off with Greg catching up with Meathead after a NBBQA meeting that Meathead attended.
And could he say leggy one more time? Meanwhile, we pick up our conversation with Meathead from AmazingRibs.com. Meathead, have you tried CBD?
No.
Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
Do you think it's snake oil?
I don't want to say anything.
Why not? You're allowed to have an opinion. You can have an opinion. Nobody cares.
Well, I'm kind of careful about what I'd like to hear what the FDA says about stuff that you put in your body like that, pharmaceuticals or stuff like that.
It's not.
The question I have for you is...
It's not a pharmaceutical, Meathead.
The question I have for you is...
Yes, go ahead.
Does it mellow you? Because I listened to your rant earlier about don't call in with sound on or I'll hang up on you and make fun of you for 30 minutes.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
You need the stuff with THC in it, Greg. Look, when they come up with a formulation that mellows you, let me know.
Meathead, here's the problem. You do a show for 3 or 4 months and you have issues with people calling in. Maybe you shouldn't get ramped up. You do a show for 11 or 12 years, and you explain the process, and then for some reason it just never gets conveyed through to the caller.
Yeah,
how am I supposed to react?
Show, but it's that way with almost every radio show.
I mean, come on.
You call in, and there's a delay.
Be a professional caller. Don't call. Write me an email. I can probably read it better than you can say it anyway. Right?
Right.
Of course.
I don't know anything about non-prescription drugs, and one of these days maybe we can coax my wife onto the air, and she can comment on her actual hands-on experiences in analyzing these products.
Okay.
But I have no comments.
Oh, man. I would love to get Mrs. Meathead on here.
She might be able to. She retired from her government research work, so she may be able to comment now. Okay. We'll see.
All right, we'll see.
But back to NBBQA. You want to go back there?
Yeah, so, typically for the folks that don't know, it's a few days of trade stuff. If you're in the business of barbecue or grilling, Thursday, Friday are more geared for you. Saturday is more the general public-facing event where you might see some of the bigger stars that you've seen on television or heard here on this show. And they're doing either a cooking demonstration or selling something, and you can get autographs and pictures and all that stuff. From the Thursday and Friday days, what were your biggest takeaways, positives, things that you learned?
Most of the attendees are restaurateurs, caterers, or competition cooks. And if you are in the business, if you have a restaurant or contemplating one, or you're a caterer, or everybody loves your barbecue and they say, you ought to cook barbecue at the Little League games, or you ought to do barbecue at my daughter's wedding. This conference would be a good place for you to go. There's a lot of people there who have done this, who know the way to do it properly, the pitfalls, the risks, the legal liabilities. Or if you have a sauce, everybody says, oh, your sauce is so good, you ought to bottle it and sell it. Yep. There were several seminars on how to get your sauce from your kitchen to the grocery store shelves, the process, what you have to do, what it can cost you, the techniques. And there were there was a breakdown of a hog demo, which is always interesting to watch. Of course, you can see it on YouTube. Actually, the session I found most interesting is there was a company from Chicago whose job is they gather restaurant menus from all over the country, thousands of them, and break them down into words, put the words in a database, and study which words are most frequent and which words are occurring more this year than last year. Things like gochujang or chorizo or St. Louis cut, or these are words that maybe you don't see very. We never saw St. Louis cut on a barbecue restaurant menu until maybe 10 years ago. Now it's more frequent. Gochujang, in case your listeners don't know, is a Korean hot spice, which I think may be on a glide path. It's coming in, according to this research, on a few restaurant menus, and then they show the words that are on more menus that are on the upward swing, and here's where they're becoming ubiquitous, and the downward swing. This sauce is possibly where sriracha was 10 years ago. I really like the stuff. I keep some around. Really nice flavor, not too hot. Made with miso, so it's kind of meaty, umami flavor.
Yep.
So that's starting to show up on menus, and it was really interesting to see the trends that he was spotting coming up. But the main reason to go is much of the best stuff happens after hours in the bar. You cruise into the bar and you sit down next to somebody, and holy smokes, he lives not far from you, or holy smokes, he's doing the same thing you are, or holy smokes, he's got the same problem with embezzling from his secretary or whatever, and there's a lot of networking and meeting people. I mean, I don't have a restaurant. I don't compete. I'm not a caterer. I go for the networking.
And I would imagine, Meathead, that if you're in the bar, a lot of the ham and eggers want to cozy up to Meathead and talk to you a little bit and take a picture with you. I mean, from a celebrity standpoint in the industry, I mean, you're a fairly big name, whether you're going to admit it or not.
Yeah, I'm not used to being called that, but it's very gratifying. And this actually, subtly, now that you probe me, it may be one of the reasons I enjoy going, because sitting in the bar, a lot of people come up and say, Meathead, you're the reason I'm in barbecue.
Right.
Or you have changed the way I cook. Or I bought your book and I've learned so much. I'm so much better because of it now. Or I come home from work and the kids say, Mom, can Daddy cook tonight? Or I got laid last night because of you.
There you go. That's what Doug was looking for. I didn't realize that miso was meaty. I had to look it up because it's not meat. Certainly savory. Where am I going with this? What was that Easter egg in the front, in the opening? Go listen to this whole show and find that Easter egg. Did I point it up there? Or find it in the actual show? I'm not making any sense. Anyway, here's one of several coming in for Doug Scheiding. Thank you, Doug, so much. If you want to make a suggestion, send it to me over at John, John, at the BBQCentralShow.com. And until next time, I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.